One big issue with executors, once they've become qualified, is they stop keeping up formalities, or they keep poor records as to what they've been up to and the transfer of assets, what's happened with the assets since they became qualified as the executor. And so it's really important, and a very common mistake in being an executor is to keep accurate records. Obviously, collect and save all bank statements that are being generated or investment statements, all receipts for expenses incurred, all invoices for expenses not yet paid, and a record of any creditor claims that have been satisfied. We generally, it's kind of like math class or basic accounting. We need to show with objective proof and evidence to the court what you've been up to. So all of the inbound assets, coming in, or checks or transfers, and all of the outbound, either distributions or disbursements in the form of expenses. A failure to keep adequate records is going to be personally applied against the executor as a liability. So if they're not able to show with a reasonable basis why a distribution was made, they're going to be personally liable for that distribution and presume that it was inappropriate. We generally want to ultimately get from the decedent's estate value all the way down to zero. And throughout that process, appropriate record keeping is mandatory. In fact, when we submit the final accounting, there generally will be a requirement that an accounting of all the ins and outs be submitted as well, in addition to the statements of the bank accounts. So you'll want to obviously have a folder that's well organized of all of the different receipts and paperwork involved in the administration.